This Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, following the Clash at the Castle. Join us here on the Nation Network for a quick recap and then the live event that we've been promising for weeks is going to happen. Inside the Creator Studio, Vince McSham goes one-on-one with the Macho Man.
Chicks dig the Macho Man, and the Macho Man digs the chicks.
Join us this Saturday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Vince McSham, one-on-one with the Macho Man. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Vince McSham with you here. What's news? So, going to give everybody fair warning. If you did not watch Clash at the Castle, then spoilers are coming. So, if you don't want to know the outcome of matches and things that took place, then now would be your time to come back and check this out at a later point in time. But do come back tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because in the studio, we will have the one, the only, oh yeah, the Macho Man. Dig it. It's going to be good times. And Andrew Roberts is here. What's up with you? Did you see the show, Andrew? I've got my notes right here. Going to take a quick look at them as we go along. We'll give a few moments here for everybody to join in that's going to stop by. I know they're also doing a press conference. I'm going to try and bounce back and forth between all of these different things in the short time that I have. Let's see here. WWE. Triple H is currently speaking, and like I said, I'll keep on tabbing in on that and seeing how that's going. It was a very, very hot crowd in Cardiff all the way to and through the main event, and that's not easy to keep that energy level up. They did. But when you're starved for 30 years, I suppose you have a pretty big appetite. Yeah, Smoothie, I gotta tell you, I'm happily surprised that most of my earlier predictions, if you guys didn't see my mini stream of the Castle, which were partly predictions and just me, goofing around with a 2K product, I was 2 out of 3. That ain't bad. That ain't bad, including the 2 big ones. I had the Edge prediction almost to the nanosecond, and couldn't do as much as I would have wanted to do with Roman, simply because it was a title match and the game won't let you do a lot of things. J-Rock's in the house. Hello to you, sir, as well. So let me know what you guys thought about this. Overall, as a pay-per-view event, if we're going to do the 5-star system. Yeah, we're going to get all that in there, but I know exactly what you're talking about, Andrew. So, like I said, I'm going to keep an ear and an eye on Triple H here as best I can while he's doing his thing. All right, so let's take a look here. Opening match was the ladies 6-man match. We had Control with Bayley's squad going up against Bianca Belair and her squad. Bayley was over like Rover. They were singing her old school songs, man, and she was trying to get that heel heat back, and they just weren't going to give it to her. You can't make us like you. You can't make us not like you. We are just going to either like you or not like you based on what it is that you bring to the game. And in Cardiff, they love them some Bayley. So as much as she tried, she failed to get over as a heel. Not a problem. It's better to be liked than to be hated. Triple H just had a great one-liner. It's going to be an interesting season, holiday season at the Mysterio household. Will we hear from Dominic tonight? Don't know, but it'd be interesting. I'd rather wait for Monday night to have something there. And let's see who they got coming up to the stage here. Roman's going to be the first one up to have a word. So, all right, why don't we get and talk about the Roman match? We don't have to go in order. Started out slow. The early going of this thing was very slow, I thought. But it picked up towards the end. I guess they had to pace themselves. Now, when the match got kicked off, it was like 10-4, and I thought this was going to end up being a 3-hour pay-per-view at the rate they were going. So I'm like, what, are they going to have 10 minutes? It's going to be a squash match like Brock Lesnar? This is not going to work. But turns out they went an extra almost 35 minutes, and they had to pace themselves for that. So it made more sense later than it did in the beginning. So that all said, you have no Paul Heyman, no Usos. Exactly, that we're used to anyway. And again, the pacing was slow. When it goes out to about the 20-minute mark, they get out on the floor, and that's when somebody throws a water bottle. And I really did think it was legitimately from a stupid fan until they show you Karrion at ringside. Karrion Kross is there with Scarlett, and I'm like, oh, shit. They are going to screw this guy out of the title. And that's the one thing I kept on saying in my notes. He can lose, but he can't lose clean. That they just can't let that happen. So I figured for sure Karrion Kross is going to cost him the title at this match. But then all of a sudden, Karrion's kind of gone after that little moment. And we're 10 minutes more into the match. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, we can't forget about him. He'll jump a guardrail. He'll come out from somewhere. He's still not done yet. Turns out I was wrong about that. Then you got Austin Theory. The music hits. He comes down with his briefcase, and it's like, shit, there is no way they're going to put that belt on that bitch. Comes down, gets to ringside, and bam! The other Tyson knocks his ass the hell out. Something's going on here in this press conference. Let's see what it is. No, I guess he's already done. That didn't take long at all. Roman was very short on words. So back to the match. You got Tyson Fury lays him out. Doesn't get to cash in the Money in the Bank. Gets back in the ring. Drew hits with a Claymore. Gets a 2 count. Looked like it might have been over there. Doesn't happen. There's a moment where both of these guys are on their knees, throwing punches back and forth from their knees. They've given everything they got to give, and they're still throwing punches. And slowly, as they're hammering back and forth, they keep doing it, and they rise back to their feet. The crowd is eating this shit up. And it really is helping to tell this story. And then, a short time later, Drew hits the ropes. Somebody in a hoodie grabs his ankle, and the only thing I can see initially is that he's got a leg brace on. And I was like, there's no way Stone Cold Steve Austin is getting involved in this match. But that was my first thought when I saw the leg brace. Then all of a sudden, hoodie comes down, you start to see the face, and I thought it was one of the Usos that we're familiar with because it looked a little bit like Jimmy Uso. And as the hat or the hoodie started to come further back, you saw the blonde hair, and instantly I was like, well, that's how you bring him in. So sure as hell, Solo Sikoa costs Drew the match by distraction, snaps him on the top rope. He turns around stunned, gets nailed with a spear, and it's a 1-2-3 for the finish. After the match, Tyson Fury gets in the ring face-to-face with Roman. Almost looks like he's going to knock him out or something. Maybe send the fans home happy with that. But nope, shows a sign of respect, shakes his hand, lets him go off, helps Drew McIntyre back up to his feet. They start singing American Pie. What? Okay, hey, who am I to say? And then they followed up with a British hit. That was an interesting way to go with their main event. I really felt like Roman wasn't dropping the belt. It just seemed too obvious that Drew would win. He's in his hometown, first time in 30 years having a pay-per-view there. You've got to give them something big. I still can't believe there's no friggin' Fiend. I thought he might be the guy that would cost the match, thinking, okay, well, him and Drew would be a good one, but then I thought about Karrion, and I was like, well, what are they going to do with that? They can't have all three of them going at it. But, so it is what it is. That was the match. It was a good match. The last 15 minutes were really good, and they did a lot to tell that story. Let me see what you guys are saying over here. Yeah, we're going to get back up to Liv here in a moment. Let's see. And Dominic, yes. Felt sorry for Liv and Shayna. No one wants to follow up that Gunther match. I didn't really love the Gunther match. It was a physical match, that's for damn sure. I don't know that Sheamus going to be able to inhale any deep breaths in the next few weeks. But I guess that's just not my style of a wrestling match. I want to either see some wrestling, grappling, and, legit wrestling going on, or a little bit more up-tempo. Doesn't have to be high-flying, but for me, that was just too much back and forth chops and forearms and not enough variety. So I would give that match, I can't speak. Particularly me, I would give that match maybe 3 stars, personally. So I wasn't in love with that one. Smoothie's going 4.5 on the pay-per-view. That's pretty good. Jay's going 3.5, and Jay, I'm probably right around there with you. I might go a little higher. I might go 4. As I go through this, I'll make my final decision. But it was a good show. All right, looks like we got a lot of Ray stuff going on here, or Dominic more accurately. So let's talk about that too. So Control ended up losing, by the way, in that opening match, which surprised the crap out of me. I didn't think she was going to. They're letting Bayley and her team lose a little too often for the team you just brought back. The Intercontinental title match, as we just talked about, Walter, I'm not going to call him Gunther. Walter against Sheamus, very physical. We saw Imperium return, which is a good thing. And my notes right here says basically the same thing. It was physical, a lot of chops. Walter attempts a crossface and doesn't manage to even lock it all the way on. Sheamus hits with the Celtic Cross. And at one point was selling the back injury, which, of course, played into the rest of the storyline. And then it was a huge lariat. And I'll say that thing looked pretty legit for the win and the title retention by Walter. Liv Morgan went on to take on Shayna in a match that also seemed predetermined, like you knew Shayna was going to have to win this match if there's any element of realism to it, but this is wrestling. So Liv manages to, at one point in time, show that she learned from that training session with Riddle, and if you didn't see it, it was on YouTube and probably on the show itself, where she was back there rapping around with Riddle a little bit on different moves and how to escape them. And there was one point where Shayna had her in the rear naked, and then she plied the arm away and used her hooks to get in and rolled out of it. And she, did everything the way it was taught to her. So it's nice to see, as I see our technical bullshit is starting to kick up again. It was nice to see that they tied that in to the match, that they reflect back on the fact that that is the training she received. She's using it in the match. That was good. It added something to it. Hits with the Oblivion for the victory. Again, just a little surprised. I wasn't expecting that. Not at all. By the way, with the technical issues that we're having right around now, I know what it is now, and it's nothing that I can fix immediately. It is the cable company's equipment, because everything, it's even done it on my TV. So now it's a matter of which box do they have to replace, and with the holiday weekend, it won't be till next week. But it's not consistent. It kind of comes and goes. Different times of the day, it seems to be more accurate or active than others. This morning I had no problem with the stream, and now I can see that we're having all kinds of connection flags popping on and off. So it is what it is. I just try to make the best of it. We had a lot of people in the audience, by the way. We saw Bret the Hitman Hart. They did a little mini tribute to the British Bulldog for the match that these guys had there at the last time there was a pay-per-view event. Adrian Street and Miss Linda were in attendance. Then we go on to Rey Mysterio and Edge going up against Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley is gold. I mean, this girl, she's just it. Everything about the look, the faces, she is the build. You have to really think back. I mean, I think a little bit about Chyna when I see her, but I don't think Chyna was nearly as in-ring talented as Rhea Ripley. But other than that, there's a lot of similarities. So I just love having her with that group. I think that's a power thing. And they need to let them start winning some freaking matches, though. So anyway, crowd wanted Edge. Loud and clear. Gets the hot tag early in. Goes at it. At one point in time, he hits a 619. Wasn't real pretty, but he did it. Gets the win off of a spear. And it was nice because wishful thinking. Rey Mysterio hits with the 619. I think it was Finn Balor got rocked back and then boom, gets hit immediately with the spear by Edge. 1, 2, 3. Everyone's happy. I love everything that happens right after that, except how it was executed. The match is over. Dom's in the ring. And up till then, he totally sold the show that, he's interfering on behalf of his father. And Rhea came around and leveled him with a pretty stiff-looking shot the whole time. I mean, there was never an inkling of him turning. And then at the end of the night, the match is over. They're in the ring. And there's this pause where Dom is just standing there staring at Edge while everyone's celebrating. And I'm like, no, not like that. And sure as hell, he turns around and kicks him in the dick. Then Ray gets into it, and he's like, what are you doing? Stop doing it. You can't. And he clotheslines his father. Now, imagine instead of that, they're all in the ring. Dom is raising both of their hands, one on either side of him. And immediately, as he releases their hands, he kicks Edge in the dick and just turns around, blindside clotheslines his dad. No moment. No, hey, what are you doing? Just instantly, bam, bam. So much more powerful, I think. And I wish that's how they would have done it. Either way, he got the heat. All right, he's definitely going to be trending, and what happened is going to definitely be bringing some eyes to the show. And by the way, son, if you're going to take that shirt off, now I'm a 50-year-old man, okay, so I got my excuses. But if you're the age you are and you're going to take that shirt off, get in the fucking gym. You got these little dad rolls going over the side and stuff, man. You're a young man. You want to be there? You want to be part of the show? Do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups. That's just me. So what do you guys think about the Dominic turn? Again, I'm glad it happened. I think the way it went down was solid. This other press conference thing is kind of getting on my nerves, so I can't. All right, so after that, what else do we get? Let me see what you guys are saying here. You hope he doesn't join Judgment Day. I think he has to. I don't see much of a doubt that he's going to join Judgment Day. He's going to end up saying that there's some point in the match where he just said, screw this. And that part I also had pretty much right. I didn't have him turn. I was planning to, but I accidentally hit the wrong button on mine. My bad. Oops. But I can still write that in without a problem. My difference is I was going to have him cost the team the match. Because obviously an after-match attack wouldn't be an option in the game. But yeah, I don't see any option for him to not be part of Judgment Day at this point. Now, do I think that's a good choice all around? Oh, Lord. Yes and no. I mean, it has to happen because he's not good enough to be on his own. Against what, his father and Edge? Or either or? Let's presume Edge is just going to say, you know what? I'm getting out of this family mess. I'm sorry I caused any problems, and then goes on to fight Bray Wyatt or somebody else. That would not be a bad match, by the way. And it'd be a good reason why he didn't show up tonight. But he would have to have any legitimacy. He would have to have people surrounding him. So I don't see any chance of him not being a part of Judgment Day. But, hey, stranger things have happened. We'll see. Scott Austin in the house, and he seems to enjoy the fact that Theory got KO'd. It was a nice moment. And at first, when I saw the punch come in, I wasn't sure. I mean, I knew it had to be somebody planted there, but I didn't realize it was Fury at the moment. I was going to say Theory. They rhyme. Bailey got the pin? Oh, I guess, well, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't fully focused on the match for that opener. I had a couple other things I was doing in the background. I thought they lost. So, in that case, I take back my earlier statement, and it's good that they had Control get the win because they needed it. Good for Bailey. Pinning Bianca. I wonder what that sets up. All right, what else did we have? Is there anything I haven't covered already? Oh, yeah, Seth Rollins against Riddle. Not a bad match. I've never really been a Riddle fan. Something about his face just doesn't work for me. I don't know, he annoys me. No, I'm sorry, man. I think you have to have, like, a stoner brain to appreciate him. That's just the way I feel. But never been a fan anyway. But I'm also not a big fan of Rollins either, so I really didn't have much heart in this match. That all said, I thought they did an okay job with it. Everyone in wrestling now runs a V-trigger of some sort, I guess. Yeah, everyone's got to run a knee and smash it into the side of somebody's head. And I just feel like that's going to end up badly because it's a dangerous move that if you don't time it right and pull it right, you're going to legitimately mess somebody's brains up. And I think the more people doing it, the more odds are that somebody's going to get messed up seriously. I think it should be left to maybe a handful of people that you trust a whole lot. And I just seem like I see everybody doing one in a match nowadays. So it just seemed to stand out to me a little bit more in this one. Now, of course, he's one of those guys that I would think could do it. I don't know if I'd ever trust Rollins with it with his track record, but that all said, he hit the bro Derek at one point in time, trying to steal the move and win with that. Crowd went crazy for that. Went for the pedigree, got the biggest pop of the night practically on that. And then just to make things all even, Riddle stole from Orton with the attempt at the RKO. He did bring him in with the Orton DDT off the middle rope. And then Rollins tried the RKO, but that backfired. He ended up in the rear naked choke. I can't speak. Rear naked chokehold. What I did love was the ending. The curb stomp led to the second curb stomp off the top rope. Now I'm like, yep, that'll do it. If you kicked out of that, you would have ruined the move because nobody's kicking out of that in real life. And then we had the main event. I suppose overall, I would probably give it I'm going to say 3 3/4 star. It was a good pay-per-view. The main event was solid. It was a little slow moving for the first half, but again, didn't realize how long they were going to run that match. At first, it looked like it was only going to have a 10-minute time limit. But then they were able to make it go much longer than that. So had I known it was going to go 35 minutes, then I probably would have been more patient with it. That said, the last 15 minutes were really good. I mean, there were so many legit false finishes. I know a lot of people don't like the false finishes. If they're used right, then I do like them. And they were definitely used right here in this match because every one of them, I thought this could be it. And that's what a false finish is supposed to be. You're supposed to think that the match is going to end on this one. So I felt like they did that. I thought they did a really good job. What about you guys? Overall, do you like the event? Is there anything that in particular stands out to you as a WrestleMania moment type of thing? There were no real surprises. Nobody showed up that we haven't seen before. Well, I take that back. Solo Sikoa. Not that we haven't seen him before. We haven't seen him on the main roster. And I'm wondering why like the Usos weren't there because of the same reason they weren't in Canada, the DUI thing. Is that keeping them out of England as well? And I'm also wondering if they're ever going to bring Paul Heyman back at all. You would think now, because they promoted the crap out of the Extreme Rules event that's going to be coming up. So you would think he's going to have to be an on-camera presence for that. Especially now that the Tribal Chief has retained the Unified Champions. But like I said, all in all, Clash at the Castle, I thought it was pretty good. And I love the fact that it was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, because it's like you're wide awake. A lot of these times I'm watching these things and I fall asleep halfway through, not necessarily because it's a bad card, just because I'm tired. And it's nice to actually be awake throughout one from start to finish and not feel tired at all. Plus, you got the rest of the night to go. So those are two things that I can definitely say I enjoyed about it a lot. We talk about the rest of the day, by the way. That would lead us up to what's going to happen right here on this channel in just a little while, about an hour from now, to be exact. Hopefully, you guys will come back and join us and post your questions in the comment section once we do, because we got a very special guest coming your way tonight. I think you're going to like this guy. If you haven't already seen him, trust me, tune in. Check this out.
This Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, following the Clash at the Castle, join us here on the Nation Network for a quick recap and then the live event that we've been promising for weeks is going to happen. Inside the Creator Studio, Vince McSham goes one-on-one with the Macho Man.
Chicks dig the Macho Man, and the Macho Man digs the chicks.
Join us this Saturday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Vince McSham, one-on-one with the Macho Man.
Indeed, the Macho Man will be here tonight, 6 o'clock. So just a little while from now, I'm going to take a quick break, get something to drink, set up the studio, and we'll be going live in about an hour, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Again, as this thing goes down, put any questions you might have for him in the chat board, and I will make sure that we get across all of those. In the meantime, I will see you again real soon from ringside. So long and good night.